Hi, it's Jo Mulcrone. I wanted to just pop on and talk about exposure therapy. I hear a lot of times from people saying they've been told that's the only way to resolve emetophobia. And then there's the camp that try it and sort of come to me and say, I couldn't go through with it. It was just awful, petrifying, and, sort of dreaded sessions and hated it, and it didn't change anything. And then there's the other camp that will say, I can't even consider doing that, so I'm not even gonna kind of move forward with any kind of therapy. So I really wanted to say that it's not necessary, and not only is it not necessary, but generally it's really not effective when it comes to emetophobia. Other phobias, yes. Emetophobia, not so much. So the things that it doesn't touch the real nuts and bolts that causes the trigger responses for people. So in exposure therapy, right, you're there with a therapist. So you're not alone. You have somebody with you, sat with you, in your proximity, right, with you throughout the process. And a lot of my clients talk about this component of feeling alone when hubby's away on a work trip, or when they're alone at night, etc. So that doesn't get touched with exposure therapy because you've got somebody right there by you. It's also obviously a controlled environment. You know it's coming, you know what's happening, whether you're getting asked to recreate it in a bucket with the therapist, whether you've got somebody coming in who is actually vomiting, whether you're looking at pictures, right? It's all a controlled environment. You have time to prepare. There's no surprise element, there's no anticipation, and everyone that I've ever worked with has talked about the anticipatory element as being the bit. Almost when sickness does happen, it's like, that wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's the build up before, and then it's the aftermath of, will I get sick? Which takes me on to the other component, which is absolutely missing in exposure therapy, the contagion, right? So the sickness bug part of emetophobia is the dominant trigger marker. Can I catch it? Will I catch it? When might I catch it? When's my safe time? Has 48 hours gone by? What if everyone gets it? Etc. And that is absent in exposure therapy. It doesn't exist. And also the element of oneself, right? If you're sat with a therapist and it's all controlled, nothing is required of you. It's not the same as when a loved one needs your attention and needs your support, right? And you're having to decide whether you can stay or whether you need to flee, right? So the fight-flight response is not being triggered. And also, crucially, a lot of people talk about me and my bodily sensations. It's when I feel nauseous, it's when I've got stomach cramps, it's when I feel full. That's my trigger. And of course, in exposure therapy, none of that is present either.